Today's journey will take Ms. Electric Moto on a 122-kilometer trip over the hill, down to the 13th century castle Snežnik, and finally to one of the largest intermittent lakes in Europe. Rakitna is a small settlement on the edge of the highest karst field in Slovenia, in the middle of the Crimean forests. It hosts a small, artificial lake which offers a nice respite from the summer heat. Besides the lake stands a small, modern hotel that offers food and drinks. Among the dishes that the Hotel Rakitna offers, is a delicious layered pastry called Gibaniza. Although native to Northeast, it has achieved the status of a national speciality. There's about 51 kilometers from the starting point to the castle gates. The first 12 kilometers was mostly uphill mountain road, where the electric motorcycle used up 542 watt-hours of the battery's energy. Just another good 5 minutes to the castle. This 13th century beauty, located in the municipality of Loška Dolina, got its name from the noble house of Špeh, in whose possession it initially was. Heavily remodeled in the second half of the 19th century and guarded by a moat. It can now be entered by a multi-arch stone bridge. Ms. Moto was allowed to cross it in style. While she went off exploring the inside of the castle, her bike would get a power snack. As indicated by the marks on the heavy bronze door, entering a castle is always a privilege and should be done with reverence. The Snežnik castle and its extensive grounds that included a vast forest area, was owned by distinguished Carniolan noble families such as Lamberg, Shire, Raumschissel, Eggenberg, Orisberg and Lichtenberg. In 1853 it was purchased by Schönberg-Waldenberg family, the last of noble houses to own it. They thoroughly renovated it and used it as a summer residence and a hunting lodge. The castle has changed hands many times. Once, in 1832 it has even been offered as a main lottery prize, to be won by a lucky blacksmith from Ogisko, who eventually chose 250,000 guilders or golden pennies in cash, instead. But it was Prince Yuri of the Schönberg-Waldenberg family, whose management skills and enthusiasm for technological innovation were well recorded, who lifted the castle and its entire estate to today's splendor. In 1945 the castle was nationalized, but it was reserved as a hunting lodge for important state functionaries. It wasn't until 1983 that the castle was finally opened to the public, as a museum. The castle holds many secrets and stories. One of them is the tale of the lost giant white rose. Saying goodbye to the fairy tale castle, Ms. Moto was off to her next stop, the famous intermittent karst lake. Before visiting the Cerknica lake itself, Ms. Moto stopped to take a look at the nearby visitors center. While parked, the bike was plugged to be charged. The Lake Cerknica normally stays on the karst plain for about 8 months a year. Water usually spreads over the surface of 20 square kilometers, but at its fullest, the lake covers a surface of about 26 square kilometers. When full, it becomes the largest lake in Slovenia. In the summer, when the rainfall is slight, the lake is completely drained into the reservoirs lying below its level, and its bed is speedily covered with rich vegetation. With the returning heavy rains in autumn, the surrounding higher reservoirs are filled and discharged suddenly through the subterranean passages into the lake, so that the latter very rapidly regains its ordinary volume and may even inundate the surrounding country. The changes in level can be very irregular. Sometimes the lake does not disappear for several years, at other times it can remain dry for over a year, as it did in 1834. The lake is rich in fish, which disappear and return with the water. Lake Cerknica is an important wildlife resort. It is a nesting place for many bird species and hosts various amphibious plants. It is a part of the Inner Carniola Regional Park and place of interest for many wildlife studies. The sun was getting low and it was time for Ms. Moto to head back over Rakitna before nightfall. Overall, Ms. Moto made 122 kilometers on this trip, and drove for 3 hours. By using reg and brake, she regenerated 5.8% of the battery's energy. She charged the bike for 1 hour and 20 minutes, and used, in total, 4,031 watt-hours of energy. That was all for the day. Till the next adventure.